if you are ready for some fire with an H on the end of the fire. Okay, anyway. I'm gonna go through quite a bit of shit here. Just want to make sure that my audio is working okay. So, here's some things to keep in mind. You want to track yourself when it comes to like small victories against the devil. And the devil to me is addiction. So I don't care what anybody says. To me, I found out the hard way through years of drug abuse. And I'm talking years of drug abuse. Probably like throughout my life, longer than most people have been alive, you know? I mean, I'm not saying my parents or anything like that, but like, you know, being as old as I am, I've spent a lot of my time abusing drugs, and it all led to the same place every single time that I used. Every time that I used it led to the same damn place. And eventually you use enough that you're gonna literally see the face of the devil like I did. So drugs, alcohol, no bueno. Keep that shit out of your life. Hopefully next week we can have more of a turnout. I'm trying to grow this bad boy. So um, recovery is not just about like huge milestones. Like, hey, I've been out there doing this for ages. Even like being sober for a freaking month is a victory. Every day that you don't use your drug of choice or alcohol is, a win. And you need to encourage yourself, even if it seems silly, that making it through difficult shit, guess what? Once you do yourself a favor and stand up, put your hand behind your back and jump up and down. That way you can pat yourself on the back. Now, you gotta be sure that you deal with setbacks in your sobriety or in your day the correct way. Sorry, I hope this total message comes off good. I spent a lot of time on this, so throughout the week, I haven't had much time to do this, and with my what I'm doing on the outside of this channel, like it's been taking a lot of my time. So make sure that when you deal with setbacks, that you're not like, if you have a tough day, you don't want to immediately like, okay, fine, it's time to go down to the liquor store, or better call my plug type of deal. You can't let anybody else's progress define your own. Gotta have strategies for yourself, coping mechanisms. And the older you get, in my opinion, you seem to come to the point where you're not focused so much on stupid shit like make a mistake, move on. Don't dwell on it. Make sure that you have people in your life that you can count on if you need to talk to them, like, hey, I'm having a tough day, think about calling the plug, whatever. Make sure that you have those types of connections in your life, because they are important to have. Self-care, being in recovery, for me, except for when my lung was collapsed, like for me being in recovery, I was kind of focused on taking care of my body as much as I could. I'm starting to get swole, losing some weight. I have very positive body image of myself now because of just basically what I do. Not overeating. I mean, some of the stuff I'm gonna go through is probably gonna see like no shit Sherlock, but um, other things maybe it might help with something that you may or may not have thought of before. Um, Now, having mindset of a winner takes it takes quite a bit of time to get yourself to stay in that kind of mindset. Um, Belief is half the battle. So, if you are in a recovery group, remind those other members that, if they change their mind, they can change their habits, behaviors, and thinking over time. If you stay in these loops of, oh, I'm a shitty person, this, that, and the other thing, guess what? You're just, you know, road to nowhere once again. So don't do that. I don't keep a journal, but if something that you guys want to do, you might be able to leverage that to your benefit. Like, mark down like your low points, your high points, and anything and everything in between. I don't have time for that, but if you do, that might help you. Um, be grateful. Just be grateful for life. Do you know how unbelievably rare it is to be alive in general? Like, I mean, the older I get, the more of a spiritual thing I think being alive is, instead of just oh, it's just a natural process. Because um, the more and more you learn about the world, it just seems ridiculously unlikely uh, that we could define everything by what we can see with our own two eyes. So be grateful that you have a life, because for the possibility, the amount of people that could be alive versus the amount of people that are actually alive are lucky. Those people are lucky to be alive. I mean, shit, dude, you could have the tip of your pecker fall off. I mean, just think of shit like that. Like, it could be worse. Um, so practice gratitude in your life, no matter how insignificant it seems to be. This should help with your recovery. Now, milestones, um, you can boost your morale by celebrating, like, hey, been sober for a year, 2 years, whatever. I don't count personally because it's just like, that's one of my personal things, and recovery isn't a one size fits all shoe. If you are recovering in a certain way that works for you, do it. I mean, for me, I don't want to pat myself on the back every month because I don't want that to feed my ego, if that makes sense. Um, but you can be mindful of your surroundings when you're trying to defeat, drugs, alcohol, whatever it may be. And, like, even if you gotta go out there and do, like, things like yoga or rock climbing or whatever, like, that way you can't get into your own head and you can actually experience life the way that you're supposed to be experiencing it as a social creature, like we are. Now, you need to be able to forgive yourself and heal. Um, this is really tough, especially for me. I'm sure all of you guys can say the same. Um, so, let's see here. I could, what would good journaling points look like? I don't know, maybe go, hey, this week I faced I had to change my tire or whatever, and it really pissed me off. I didn't have time for it. Blah 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 blah. Jot down like how that challenged you and how you overcame it. Just that sort of thing. Um, let's see here. Managing triggers. Like, you got to know them first. So, and one thing that like useful for me in my life is understanding that my triggers are my responsibility. So, I'm not gonna go around and expect the world to bend its knee to my triggers. Does that make sense? Um, like that's my shit, and I gotta deal with it accordingly. Um, I can't let environmental, situational, like, people, places, things, um, encourage me to jump off the bad bandwagon because I feel sorry for myself. Like, I ain't got time for that shit anymore. And I won't allow it. Um, if I fall into that kind of a nook or cranny in the day, I like to hop on my workout thing and starting to feel the burn in my legs or whatever. Have a plan in place, definitely. Um, once you are triggered, you need to be able to talk yourself back down. Once again, this could be calling a friend, leaving the like for me, Thornton, Colorado, fucking is a really triggering environment for me. I go away from Thornton and I stay away from it because I just see a lot of fucking meth heads that live there, and yeah, why would I want to go back to a place where I spent most of my time super fucked up? Um, yeah, exactly. It's not like you have fucking not like I have like billboards for fentanyl all over town. Like, so I'm blessing that like I'm not an alcoholic, but I don't have to deal with that everywhere I go. It's just places that I remember being. Um, Make sure that you avoid high risk situations in early recovery. I'm sure this is like smack you over the head, well, duh type of shit, but those types of environments, leave that shit in the past. Do not allow yourself to stay in the past, and you are a lot better that way. Reach out to someone if you are triggered. Yeah, make sure that you are good to go. If you are in a triggering area, you get away from there. I appreciate you guys for being here. Definitely thank you for coming. Now, call your negative thinking out. This is kind of a big one for me. Like, if you find yourself getting yourself fucked up, okay? Check yourself. When your trigger arises, smack it in the ass. Let it know that you are the one that's in charge. And reinforce yourself with more constructive and positive thinking. If you gotta use positive affirmations, go check out Tony Robbins. Shout out to my homeboy, John here, for getting me onto Tony Robbins. But yeah, I found watching him is actually helpful, and it gets me out of like negative, feel sad for me type of thinking that I get into sometimes. Physical health, once again, we talked about this. You got to be able to distract and redirect. Redirect your energy. You're pissed off, go lift some weights. That's a good one. Go on a jog, beat off whatever you got to do. Take that bad energy and find a way to twist it into something you can use. If you need professional support, get into some CBT and DBT type of therapy. And no, the CBT is not for cannabinoid therapy. It's cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectical behavior therapy. I don't really remember much about that shit from being in sober house, or not the sober house, but rehab. Make sure that you set clear and achievable goals if you're going to stay motivated. Like writing down what your goals are. Like for me, I am at 23% body fat right now. That's not overweight, but that's like at 24-25% body fat for somebody my height. That would be overweight. My goal is to get down to 10% body fat, or 15 if I have to, by the end of 2025. So I started doing HIIT. I'm actually tracking that on my calendar, so I know when to expect my goal to be due, and I know how to track that progress from here up to that point. Excuse me. If you got to use a SMART goal, SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So you can't just say, hey, I want to be healthier. You got to be, hey, I want to be healthier, and I will walk 30 minutes a day for this next month to make sure I freaking make it. Acknowledge that every win is a way to celebrate your progress. Sorry if a lot of this stuff kind of repeats, but like I said, a very short amount of time throughout the week that I've written this stuff down, and kind of doing it point by point. So I apologize if some of it may or may not repeat, but positive reinforcement builds momentum so you can move on to the next milestone and the next and the next. Keep yourself a journey once again, and express gratitude to yourself for making it. Visualize your future self. Already see things as being done, okay? That's how I can basically, I don't know how to say it, kind of push myself each way, as I already see it as done. This is something that I took off of a Tony Robinson thing. If you see yourself as having it done, you will get there, just as long as you're keeping yourself in check. Connect with your purpose. Know what you're here for. It's okay if you fail at doing this, that, and the other thing, but have a reason for every day-to-day life. If you don't, it's easy to become lost. Make sure that you are compassionate enough to yourself when you are like doing some bad things to yourself, because if you're not kind to yourself when things get hard, then it's tough. Something's not working, then you need to change your routine and your environment. If you need to seek inspiration from others, do so. Listen to motivational quotes every day, or something of that nature. Make sure you focus on your personal growth. If you got to do daily affirmations, and Take it one day at a time. If you need to handle cravings, recognize that you're going to have them, and it's okay to have them. Denying your cravings is only going to make them stronger. The using dreams are what is the most brutal for me. Let's see here. Ride the wave if you have to. If you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, you can take care of those things pretty damn easily. Know what your coping strategy are. Yeah, so we're getting there. Make sure you have, healthy ways to enforce yourself. Alright, hold on, what else did I write down? Okay, I want to talk about how to forgive yourself. Know that you gotta face your past. You need to recognize them and do not minimize them. It's important to know that these things happen. Move on. Take the responsibility of things you did. Don't blame anybody. Just own it. Mistakes do not define who we are. Your actions are not the same as your worth. It's pretty easy to think that way because we've all made mistakes. We seem to think that this makes us a shitty person. These mistakes don't define who we are. Everybody makes mistakes. It does not determine our worth. Being mistakes is part of being a human. Nobody's perfect. Everybody struggles. Instead of seeing this as a personal failing, know that it is a growing opportunity for you. It's an opportunity for you to do better and be better. Be kind enough to forgive yourself, as you would a very close friend. What would you say to somebody that you care about that has made a mistake? You gotta understand your pain. You cannot swim in it, but make sure that you acknowledge that type of pain. Apply compassion and forgive. What have you learned from these mistakes? Reflect on it. How has it shaped you as a person? What positive things can come out of these mistakes? These are growth areas. Think about how to improve your life, move on. What can you know about being a better person from these mistakes? Make amends if you need to. If these people, if you made mistakes against shitty people, yeah, fuck it, fuck them. But if these people make or something to you, you need to make sure that you're making powerful amends with them. Apologizing may help, but actions speak louder than words. So find a way to heal those transgressions. Making amends to somebody doesn't have to be perfect, but it can definitely help than just letting things be as they are. Let go of your guilt and your shame. Focus on progress, not perfection. Write a forgiveness letter to yourself. And don't hold back to those emotions. It might be what you need to let go of certain wounds. Celebrate how you've been able to grow from these mistakes. Understanding radical acceptance. What it means is completely acknowledging the reality, the good and the bad of what has happened in your life. This is different than, passive resignation from your mistakes. Radical acceptance doesn't mean giving up or passively accepting the things that are wrong. Instead, it's about accepting the facts of a situation so you can deal with it effectively, rather being stuck or being anger, frustrated, or denying it completely. Why radical acceptance is important. It reduces suffering. Often the pain of the situation is worse by our own resistance to that situation. Refusing to accept it only adds to the emotional distress. Increases emotional resilience. By accepting reality, you can calmly and effectively respond to difficult situations. It helps you avoid wasting energy and fighting on shit that you can't control. This opens the doors to better healing, and you can accept yourself better. Key principles of radical acceptance means that acceptance doesn't mean that you approve. Okay? Just because you accept a situation doesn't mean you approve of it or think that it's fair. It just means that it exists. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Okay? I personally came to the conclusion that I myself was making myself miserable and choosing to be sad for an extended period of time. Painful experiences are part of life. Suffering comes from our refusal to accept pain, and practicing radical acceptance, you can reduce the suffering caused by resisting reality. You can only control your response. Can't control what happens to you, but you can change how you react. How to practice it is acknowledging it, noticing it, let go of judgment, focus on what you control, and commit to the process. Do these steps over and over again, wash, repeat. Benefits of accepting things. It can reduce how you're emotionally suffering. You can problem solve better and enhances emotional regulation. And you can grow and be more resilient. Don't be a monkey, be a gorilla, okay? Radical acceptance. Excuse me. Can feel unnatural, but you gotta practice it. Don't let shit fuck with you, basically, is all I'm saying. You could have radical acceptance in the loss of a relationship, illness, or dealing with trauma. Like, I'm radically accepting the fact that I have jock itch right now. I don't want jock itch. I don't need jock itch. And it sucks. But I have it. Not much I can do about it other than spray medicine on my testicles. Okay, so that's where we are with that. You can be mindful when you are compassionate to yourself. Check out mindfulness online. I'm not going to go through all these because, If you feel stuck, you can acknowledge and accept your feelings. You can identify what the root cause is. You can break down, but, I wouldn't suggest that. You can challenge, the beliefs that you're sticking yourself to. Embrace change. And try something new. after experiencing personal growth myself, many people can wonder, how they're supposed to move on. Growth leads to new perspectives and opportunities, and sometimes some challenges. Reflect on the journey that you've had throughout life and apply lessons learned to be a better person. You can embrace change, or you can say, hey, I don't want to do this, but that's really up to you. But knowing that growth comes with accepting change. Set goals for yourself once again, long term, short term. Make sure you have a plan. Do better, be better, crush life, because we do not have too much time on this damn planet. So it's best to embrace what we can control and do away with what we can't. Give back, like me doing this meeting now. I'm trying to give back what I've learned to other people, not, kind of hoard the decisions I've made, like, just putting my mistakes out there, even if they are embarrassing, to show that overcoming shit is quite possible, and you don't need to, like, self-delete yourself or something like that if you feel stuck or lost or in pain, this, that, and the other thing. Life is good. Life is good to live, regardless what you got going on. You can find a way to make life better. Explore what your passions are. Play guitar. Do whatever. I like to make some silly videos sometimes. I haven't done that in a while, but hey. Know who you are. As you grow, knowing who you are, like, can change, but reflecting on how you've grown influences your self-perception and how you relate to other people. Know that you can be authentic, allowing yourself to express who you are authentically without fear of judgment helps you embrace who you truly are and can lead to deeper connections with other people. Excuse me, sorry. If you lose focus on yourself, it's okay. We all do it sometimes. You can build better habits by identifying specific habits. Be consistent. Make things enjoyable in life. If you really like doing what you do, then, the rest is kind of history from there. Being consistent is another thing. Being consistent is pretty important when it comes to maintaining your habits and goals. Let's see here. Stay disciplined. Me recently, I've been really on one with how to make myself a better person. What I like to do is talk about health esteem issues. Yeah, thank you. Every week, it'll be the same thing, same time. Appreciate you being here. Please subscribe, everybody, if you're not already, and like the video. Recognize negative self-talk. Once again, I'm not going to touch on that. Not going to touch on being compassionate to yourself, because we already talked about that. We already talked about realistic goals. Now, one thing I do want to talk about is positive influences in your life is kind of a make or break type of deal. Yeah, thank you. Please do. That would be helpful because, we gotta get this channel of mine swole. Where was I? The type of people you hang out with kind of is kind of a reflection of who you are as a person. You hang out with a bunch of junkies, you know, what do you think other people are going to think about you? Does that make sense? So, you know, surround yourself with the type of people that you want to be. Focus on your strengths, your accomplishments, what makes you an awesome person, and exploit those things. Don't compare yourself to other people. Being on social media all the time is a huge way to foster unhealthy comparisons, expectations, and I mean, really, this is social media is not a place for you to come and you know, value yourself. You know, you see these 403s. I'm just gonna let you do the math on that. The 403s, okay, on Instagram, showing their booty holes, you know, all over the place. If you're a woman, you don't want to compare yourself to that. And if you're a guy, you don't want to be like, fuck, oh, well, I'm a Giga Chad. My muscles aren't swole and shit. Like, fuck that, dude. Don't compare yourself to people that you see online because that's fucking ridiculous, okay? That's all I gotta say about that. Align yourself with people that share goals and a paths with you. Let's say you want to build a company, go talk to people that are entrepreneurs. That sort of thing. Assertive communication skills can help you if you're getting like argument with somebody. I don't know why I wrote this down. You know, why the hell did I write this down? But anyway, if you get in situations where you have to be assertive to survive, this could be a you know, a helpful factor. Be committed to growing. Understand who you are is a process, takes time and effort, and don't try to rush yourself for results. Make sure that you're in a positive environment. Tidy up your place. If you live in, I mean, if you're living in a shithole, your brain's probably gonna like look like a shithole too, and you're gonna feel like a shithole. I know that's kind of how things went for me. Know that you are worthy. Know that you are enough. Know that you deserve happiness. When you have good and self-esteem, good self-compassion, and committing yourself to good goals, you recognize negative thought patterns will go away. Practice your self-care. Engage in supportive relationships. Focus yourself on personal growth. Cultivate a healthier self-image of yourself and enhance your overall well-being by stepping into the man or woman that you are supposed to be. There's no fucking excuse for it. Be the person you want to be. Anybody else want to add anything while we're still here? I really don't have anything else. But hopefully that was a good sesh. Everybody good? I'm gonna say no. We had a record of 4 people here today. So, appreciate you guys. Hope you have a good rest of your day. I will see you in a week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever that translates out to you guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.